Good morning ladies and gentlemen, my name is Napoleon Total and today I am not feeling well, so I had to take it easy, but I'm still working on putting together a video about the Churchill Mk. Thanks to the new Enlisted development server, I'll be able to showcase it properly, and for this one I'll be using James, the British AI, to handle the voiceover, since my voice is rubbish. That said, let's get started with the video. Starting with the history, the Churchill tank originated from the cancelled A-20 project, which was designed before World War II for trench-style warfare but proved unsuitable after the Battle of France. Redesigned under Henry Merritt as the A-22, or Infantry Tank Mark IV, it was rushed into production in 1940. The result was a tank plagued by mechanical problems, weak armament, and an underpowered engine, nearly leading to its cancellation. However, its performance at the Second Battle of El Alamein secured its place in service, and over 7,500 units were produced between 1941 and 1945. The Churchill became one of Britain's most versatile tanks, with 12 combat variants and 11 specialist versions, including bricklayers, flamethrowers, mine clearers, and recovery vehicles. Its combat history began with failure at the Dieppe raid in 1942, where mechanical breakdowns and heavy defenses left all deployed tanks lost. In North Africa, however, it proved its worth at El Alamein and Tunisia, where Churchill units ambushed German columns and famously captured the Tiger 131. Later models were upgunned with 75mm and 95mm weapons and received thicker armor, making them a mainstay in Europe, including during Operation Overlord. An experimental upgrade, the A-43 Black Prince, was ultimately abandoned in favor of the more modern Centurion. The Churchill also served with Allied forces, supplied to Australia, where it proved effective in jungle testing though it saw no combat, and to the Soviet Union, which used them at the Battle of Kursk. After the war, Churchills fought again in Korea, where the Crocodile flamethrower variant was especially effective, and they remained in British service until 1952, with some specialized versions lasting into the 1970s. Ireland also operated a handful of Churchills until 1969. Despite its difficult start, the Churchill earned a reputation as Britain's most versatile and enduring tank of World War II, serving across multiple theaters and in many roles beyond its original design. In-game, the Churchill Mk. is a heavily armored infantry tank with a crew of 5, designed to absorb punishment while supporting ground forces. Its main armament is a 75mm cannon, with 38 armor-piercing rounds, 38 high-explosive rounds, and 7 smoke rounds, giving it flexibility against both tanks and infantry. For secondary firepower, it mounts a 7.92mm coaxial base machine gun. The armor layout is formidable, with 152 at the front hull and turret, 95 on the sides, 51 at the rear, and 25 on the bottom, while the turret also features 95 at the rear and 20 on top. Despite its excellent protection, the Churchill is powered by a 298 horsepower engine at 2,200 RPM, which, combined with its weight of 41.5 tons, makes it relatively slow compared to other tanks, but durable and effective in its intended support role. Finally, let's move on to the verdict. For starters, this is a tank that probably should have been added to the game a long time ago, but better late than never. That said, the Churchill Mk. Isn't particularly strong compared to its contemporaries, aside from its impressive hull armor. For example, the American Jumbo has stronger turret armor at 177mm, though its hull is only around 100mm, whereas the Churchill has 152mm on both the turret and hull front. The Jumbo also appears to have the advantage with its gun. Its high explosive rounds feel more reliable than those of the Churchill, though this could change since we're looking at a development server build. The same applies to the armor-piercing shells, which don't seem to be solid shot but still lack significant explosive filler. Speed is another issue. Slower mobility makes the Churchill far more vulnerable to anti-tank weapons and enemy aircraft. Finally, its biggest drawback is the battle rating of 4, which puts it up against heavy hitters like King Tigers. At that point, the Churchill's main gun is reduced to infantry support and light tank hunting, leaving it as little more than a slow-moving metal coffin when up-de-aired. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.